Season football is finally upon us, and guess who's back? I'm not telling yet. You wait until you see him or hear him. Usually you hear him before you see him, but we good, Matt? Are we in relevant right now?
No, well, hold on. I gotta do the other groups first. Jeez, woman.
I need you to get faster.
That's what she said. I couldn't hold it anymore.
He couldn't contain himself.
Sorry.
He couldn't contain himself.
Sorry.
All right, might as well show your face now they can see you.
It's David.
Yeah.
What's up, David?
People are funny. People are funny.
They did that to Flame because we found out his name was Jonathan. So.
Well, I mean, my name's not fucking
Anthony
Flame.
Gonzalez. Look who's back.
My name is my literal middle name.
Wait. So your name is like your middle and your first name is Todd?
No, my middle name is Todd. My first name is David. All the guys in my family go by our middle name.
Why?
That's how it is in my family too. It's a Southern.
I don't know, because I mean I was fucking born this way. What do you want? don't make me get Lady Gaga on you. I was born with this fucking name. What do you want? David is my grandfather, my mother's father, or some shit. I don't fucking
Listen,
know.
y'all talk about Hank all the time. Hank doesn't have Hank in his name anywhere at all. So.
This is Henry.
So what's his actual
Henry.
real name?
Henry.
Yeah.
Oh well, okay, that makes sense though.
Does it?
That's it.
Yeah,
Does it make
totally,
sense?
totally makes sense to turn the name Henry into fucking Hank. But it's crazy that my literal middle name is Todd and I go by that and not my first name. Whoa! Everybody freak out! Totally normal.
Yeah, you're on the right track because there's no way to.
Are we
to
live,
abbreviate
Matt?
Henry.
Irrelevant?
Can't call him Hen.
Hold on, one more.
Or Ree.
Riri?
Yeah, you can't do that.
My favorite player is Derek Hank.
Derek
Yes.
Hank, yes.
Derek Hank's out there yanking cranks, bro. With that big old turd hanging off the back of his head. It's good stuff.
Oh. By the way,
Chris, make
Ty-
sure you don't start with any ums or yas and sound enthusiastic. You got to reel them
Yeah,
in.
Chris.
so does that mean that I can talk with
Be
an
happy.
accent? I'm usually very happy when I speak with an accent.
You got to reel them in so that you can let them know how disappointing it is later. You know?
So so can I use an imaginary fishing rod?
Is that the Hank method?
Oh, Todd.
I'm just gonna
Todd's
go by my
back.
middle name.
Oh,
No,
Todd.
I'm not
Hey,
gonna go by my middle
I know
name.
you miss me.
I feel like I just need to pop on this video because hi
Hi
everybody.
everybody,
I'm not on
coming
the
to you
podcast
live
tonight. I'm
from
on
Duval, Jacksonville.
All right, we're live.
Duval Jackson.
Hello,
Are we?
Relevant and Duval people.
Duval people.
Duval people. WDVL. People.
WDVL.
Yes, on Relevant. We are live and relevant right now.
Wow.
All right, you guys have a good show. See you later.
All right, she's gone. So did you see her hair tonight? Oh my god, it was what a train wreck.
All right.
Oh hey, I'm sorry, damn, I thought you were gone. That's awful.
Oh no.
F you,
Anyway, Sam, men are talking.
David,
So
Donald, or whatever. they
men are
call you.
talking. The adults are talking.
Wait, so are we actually live? Like we can actually start, or are
Yeah.
you just gonna keep on popping in randomly?
Go for it. I think we're good
All
to start.
right. Well, according to Sam, I need to come at you live and direct with no ums and yes. So, welcome back to the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. I'm your gracious host for tonight, Chris Jackson. You know, it's actually
There it is. Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna
actually
kill
been
you.
the.
Start over. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm not starting over, okay?
Yes, you have
run
to.
the
I
tape.
feel like you're doing
Run
it on
the
purpose.
tape. I am doing it on purpose. What do you
Don't.
mean?
Come on. Come on.
Oh, that was great.
Start again.
All right. Well, good day, AFC South, and the rest of you. My name is Chris Jackson. My middle name, by chance, I just want to let everybody know is So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there for you guys. All right, we're coming at you with the first actual week of preseason action. I think all our teams have played. If we're looking at teams, I think everybody is in line right now for the preseason championship. So can we please just get a real hand clap right now for all the teams that won that are going to get the preseason Lombardi? It's like, no, just kidding. That's not a thing.
No.
That's not a thing at all. But we're going to get into that with our host for tonight. First off, we have a man who goes by many names, but apparently the main one is Todd. We have with us Todd Clary.
Hi. Did I do it
Hello.
right? Okay.
Yes, that was good. That was good. I like that. Representing the Tennessee Titans all the way from whereabouts unknown, we have with us John Ha.
Hi.
Yeah.
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 Representing the Texans, we have with us a man who went all the way from Houston to Arizona and is now back in Houston. We have with us Matt Briggs.
Yeah, okay. I'll be back Arizona shortly after the preseason's over.
All right, you heard it here first. And last, but certainly not least, but probably least in a lot of people's eyes, specifically Donnie Stingley, we have with us representing the Colts, Harish Nukala.
Hey, Sam Ellinger, QB2. Sam Ellinger, QB2.
All right. Well, listen, that sounds like something. All right. So first up, we're going to have, because it was, I'm going to say the most recent one from all the games. I think we'll go game order from reverse chronological order. We'll start with the Colts. It's funny you mentioned Sam Ellinger because he got the second half of action. But let us know exactly what the first half looked like with Jacob Eason and how that competition is shaping up right now.
Well, you see, so Eric Fisher didn't play, did he? No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's that our left tackles we're screwed basically at left tackle.
Okay.
Will Holden sucks. Sam Tevy sucks. Julian Davenport sucks. I suck. You suck. We all suck. We don't have a fucking left tackle. So yeah, it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long couple weeks until Eric Fisher gets back from injury because trash. Absolutely atrocious what I saw from that left side. Jacob Eason, he wasn't bad. I thought he did okay. He doesn't have the same pocket awareness as some of the as you would like to see. The one thing that really bugs me about Eason is he just likes to throw the ball really hard and hope it just hits his target. He doesn't really put a lot of touch on his pass. So when he throws shorter passes, like intermediate passes, slants, passes over the middle, they tend to come off the receiver's hands because he's throwing them still 100 miles an hour. He did have a really nice throw over the top to Paris Campbell, which was really nice to see. But beyond that, I thought he played well. I don't think it was overly great. I don't think he was terrible. I think he was just kind of right there in the middle.
All right. So based on the first week of what
So
you've
the Colts,
seen
basically.
Yeah, they looked average. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So based on what we've seen so far, who so far has the edge in the quarterback competition?
Nobody.
At least to you.
Nobody. They're still even to me. I said the same thing. He came out, he threw that horrible interception, which Frank Reich said later on that the receiver ran the wrong route, but Sam still shouldn't have thrown the ball, which made a lot of sense. But then Sam came out and had a good couple drives at the end of the game. I really don't think we're going to see a lot or know a lot until next week when Sam plays with the ones and he plays an entire half. I think it's going to really give us a little bit more than what we have right now. I just don't think there's any separation that's been created. I think it'll be interesting to see how Sam plays against the Vikings next week. So I don't think anything's really changed. I still think Eason was number 2. I still think Sam's number 3, but I don't think the gap is as large as some people think.
Okay. And then, so we talked enough about the quarterback situation. Give us a name to watch throughout the preseason, or that actually is kind of intriguing to you right now?
I'll give you a couple. Michael Strawn, wide receiver, 6'6", 225. Dude is killing it. He's had a great camp. He played really well today. He did have a third down catch that I thought, with as big of a catch radius as is advertised with him, he should have caught. A little out route on 3rd and 5, I believe, in the second quarter. I believe it was a little errant throw, but I feel like he should have brought that in. But I think that's the guy. And then Taylor Vaughn's looked really, really good today. I think that wide receiver 5-6 battle is very interesting. Just to see what happens between Tyler Vaughn's and Michael Stratton and Desmond Patton, who I think they should move tight end personally. But I think that's very intriguing. The Sam linebacker is intriguing with Zaire Franklin. He played really well today. I think he's going to be a guy that in a base defense, he'll work really well for us. Very, shot the gap really well on a couple runs today. And then just DB depth. We can never have enough DBs because TJ Carey went down today with a knee injury. So that's like an 18th knee injury or foot injury in camp season. So those are some of the interesting things. I thought Marvell Tell played really well for somebody that took last year off because of COVID. I thought he played well coming back today.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that insight. Now moving on to a team that, for lack of a better word, we probably were looking at and saying that this is patchwork at best. But I mean, it looks like, according to what we've seen so far, that it might not be as bad as advertised. Matt, tell us about whatever the Texans are right now, exactly how they looked yesterday. Didn't get a chance to see the game, but I saw some highlights, and they got a pretty commanding victory in preseason over the Packers.
Well, I mean, so none of the all-stars of the Texans played, so that means everybody on the roster played yesterday. The
Star-studded affair.
The starting offensive line didn't play, so I mean, but that doesn't really matter. They're going up against second, third string starters. So, Tyrod Taylor, I'm going to be a Titans fan right now. Tyrod Taylor is going to lead us to the Super Bowl because he went 4 for 4 for 40 yards.
Woo.
So, I mean, great.
Big day.
Sheesh,
Yeah,
what a beast.
No, sorry, I had to mute myself there for a second while I laughed hilariously.
Davis Mills came in, and Davis Mills looked like a rookie. Made rookie mistakes, threw an interception. Didn't look too good, but he's not going to be the starter. So Nico Collins had one catch for one target, 24 yards. Looked pretty nice. The guy that everybody said that he was going to get cut, well, I had to say everybody, only one person said he was going to get cut, is Roy Lopez. He had an amazing game with a sack, and I think a forced fumble. Could be wrong, but he's having a great training camp and a great preseason game. So look on track. It looks like COVID hurt his draft stat this year. But I mean, other than that, look, the one thing I do gotta say is all these armchair GM saying Jordan Love is the next Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Dude, play the Texans. Come, let's be real. He's not there yet. So, but other than that, it was a preseason game.
Didn't Jordan Love hurt his shoulder?
Anthony Miller did.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah, I saw a report today that Jordan Love also hurt a shoulder injury.
I didn't. I mean, he still threw for I think like 150 yards and.
Yeah.
So did you? So with that being said, did you see anything? Because I mean, everybody's been pretty across the board with the fact that they're just like the Texans are pretty much just they're going to have a bad year just because this is one of those years that's kind of an off year, or as they could say, probably like a gap year in terms of the talent you have, in terms of what you're looking for. But is there anything that may possibly provide you with some type of upside or some type of maybe just like, okay, well, this team could probably do better than what you think or what everybody else is saying?
I mean, not really, not during preseason. I mean, your key stars aren't playing, so you really don't know what you necessarily have. But I mean, I will say the Tampa defense is helping us a lot. That whole don't bend or don't break but bend mentality is gone, so that's great. I know Todd was talking about earlier how horrible it was. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. I've been putting up for fucking
Yeah, y'all
8
traded
years.
in bend but don't break to bend over and take. Yeah, I
Right,
get it.
exactly. take all of our talent to Arizona.
Keep,
Right, I
keep
get
my
it.
name out your mouth, Matt.
You're right. No, I was agreeing with you. It's terrible. That Ben
Take
don't
that shit
break
back to
defense
Phoenix.
is terrible. So I'm glad now that it's in Tennessee and not in Houston. So
And then, well, loving the insight so far for this year that the Texans are going to have, but at least give me something, give me some type of upside that will give Texans hope. Like one or two players that you've seen that's just like, wow, okay, this is actually better than advertised.
um, I like I said, Roy Lopez, he looks real good. Brevin Jordan, he didn't get a lot of catches, but he broke out open a lot. It just wasn't looked at. I think he's going to have a huge year, and I think Nico Collins is going to be a beast too. So
Nice. All
those are
right.
my 3 players.
Okay. And I know you mentioned Brevin Jordan because that was one player I was looking at. I'm going to say
Yeah,
even
I
prior
think
to
he's
the
going to be.
draft.
I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah. And so moving on, going from a team that has a plethora of tight ends to a team that has a tight end that stuck out more than others. Todd,
The Lord tight end.
tell us how yesterday went against the Browns. Because I mean, there were some highlights. There were some clips that I saw that might have been like, but you let me know what you saw from your team, from your view.
You ever had that dream where you like shit your pants in front of the class and everyone knows, and then like imagine that but in real life, and that's what happened. So I mean, sure, Tebow's a meme. I mean, who didn't think that was going to happen? I don't think he makes the roster. I don't care. So like the whole world wants to watch Trevor Lawrence and wants to talk about Tebow and then wants to talk about Urban, and like anybody with half a brain just wants us to have a functioning offensive line and a secondary, because those are the two things that are going to turn 1-15 into, 7-10, and from 7-10 we can actually decide how to make a team out of this group of fucking young people who don't know what they're doing. Where to start? Quarterback play was not good. It doesn't surprise me because they're behind the same offensive lineman that they have been for the last year and a half, 2 years. Lawrence looked like a rookie. Shocker. He had one pass to Marvin Jones that looked pretty, and even though it wasn't pretty because he had 10 minutes in the pocket and then severely underthrew him, and Jones had to come back and jump over the defender to catch it. And the whole stadium erupted, and the announcers went crazy, and we could get used to this. Got posted by the Jaguars, by the Jaguars Instagram or whatever, and like, what I could get used to is like not being down 13-0 at half. I could get used to that. I don't care if it takes Lawrence throwing 40-yard passes or, it doesn't matter. But I could get used to like, like stats in the W column. That would be really great. Offensive line look like ass. Wide receivers still can't get separation. Doesn't matter who's quarterback. They, with 3-4 seconds, if holding the ball for 4 seconds is too long, you're probably not good at football. On defense, the cornerbacks don't know where the ball is half the time. I heard a certain Jaguars announcer on television tell me that Chris Henderson made a great play when he literally just turned around, the ball hit him in the chest, and then it fell to the ground. So there's no pass rush. There's no hope. There's no
There's no hope.
there's no silver lining. There's no nothing. But out of like about a quarter of play from the Duval Dandy, I'm not sold that he's the answer that everybody thinks that he is. And I don't care what Facebook group you're in, and I don't care who you think you are or how cool you think you are. Like, Trevor Lawrence is not going to get a sack, and he is not going to break up a pass play. He is not going to block for himself, and he is not going to get separation on the opposing team's secondary. So unless he does all of those things, I mean, it's a preseason game. I think there's going to be a lot of shuffling around on the depth chart as far as who's on the first team and the second team. Two guys that I saw that really impressed me were obviously Sidney Jones, but we didn't really get to see much of him toward the end of last year because he was hurt. So he's doing really well in the secondary. And then Andre Cisco, who's currently like fourth string strong safety, actually looks like he knows how to play football and gives a shit. So I would like for him to see some more touches. Who else? Let's see. Wish
Griffin had a good game for you guys.
I mean, sure. Define good game.
Didn't he get
we lost by 20. So like, did he have a? I don't know. I don't think he had a relevant one against a relevant quarterback. I kind of zoned out about the third quarter. You know what I mean? Like once you got third and fourth strings playing against each other, like it's kind of boring. To be honest, especially when you're down like 13 and you're not gonna come back. So, did Shaquille? Did he intercept Laletta? Probably. Okay. It's all coming up Millhouse. Well, he did it. We got there. Like, who cares? They got beat like a redheaded stepchild by Case Keenum. So I don't. Like I said, there's no style, there's no polishing of the turd. It's not going to happen. But I think some guys need to move up the depth chart. I think the Lawrence Minshew thing is not decided, and we have Lawrence. You can go back and watch the other podcast that I'm on. We have Lawrence. We were there at number 1. We picked the guy. Everybody's genitals got engorged because it was going to be so great, and it was going to be the second coming of Jesus Christ, and he was going to go, throw it to himself and then kick the extra point too. And like, it's not happening. Minshew doesn't look any better. Lawrence throws a good ball, but like he holds on to it too long, and it's like, turns out he's a rookie and this is the NFL. So, what do you do? What do you do there? And I mean, like, about the only thing I saw on offense that I really liked was James Robinson, as usual. I'd like to see ETN get some more reps. I think he got like 2 touches in the whole game, so that remains to be seen. They might just be saving him up. But yeah, when your team gets into 3rd and 9, and then they throw a screen for 20 yards repetitively, you're not good at football, and you should stop trying to be good at football and like admit that this is also a rebuild year. Like, get over it. Stop trying to go sign free agent wide receivers and get somebody who can stop the other team. That's all really I can say.
Thank you for giving us that, Todd, because I know that it took everything in your power to not say
It's very restrained.
more. Yeah, to not say more, and to potentially use more profanity. So I do appreciate you for that.
No problem. You got it. I have literally, like, I have nothing. I have no energy for cursing and for. I mean, we also only have a half an hour, and there's 3 other people that have to talk about how their team suck. So. Oh, I'm sorry. How their team beat the Falcons. So yeah.
well, I do appreciate that segue. Thank you.
You don't know me very well, do you, Todd?
I don't believe I need to know you.
Yeah. Hey, before we do move on to John Ha, I did want to just go over some of these comments because people have been commenting in here. Apparently Sam let everybody know in the chat that we've moved to Monday nights or Sunday nights So, if you're watching this, we are now on Sunday nights for the rest of the season, or until further notice, or until Sam announces it in the chat. So, thank you for that, people. We do have Michael Tesmer saying, "Hey, hey, hey, Ellinger impressed."
No one cares.
Sam
No one cares
says,
what Michael Tesmer says.
"Bend and don't break to bend over and take." I have a feeling that was a little bit more personal than we needed to know.
That
Sam,
was a
thank
Todd
you.
Cleary comment.
All right.
I mean, okay, I'm sorry. The one sterling jewel of comedy in this entire fucking shit show, and you're gonna fucking complain about it? Like,
I'm not complaining. It was gold.
Yeah, Jacoyas Whitmill says Texans are back, baby. Jags got slapped around, LOL. And then Howard Murphy says Jags still the underdogs of the division. Just watch. So, yeah. So,
I mean, like, whoa,
Wow, how exciting.
Nostradamus coming in hot with that last one. Jaguars not good. Film at 11.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, I know.
so just so that we can get out of this delusion, John Ha, give us your very brutally honest take that you always end up giving us about the Titans versus the Falcons.
Look at my honest take about the Titans or the Titan fans.
Both of them.
No,
Both of them.
It's preseason. It's hard to get excited. I don't even when the starters play in preseason, it's hard to get excited. I mean, I actually enjoyed what I saw. What I did see, like coming into a football game, watching the Titans not allow a touchdown. I know it's backups, but that was a breath of fresh air. Standouts, obviously. Our linebacker, Rashad Weaver, he kind of was the player of the game. He had a few tackles. I believe he gets a sack and I believe a swatted pass. So I know this defense, like these players feel like there's a true competition there and they are really fighting for some legitimate time. So I kind of like to see what those guys did.
His fiance is excited that he had a good game. Doesn't come home and get it taken out on her.
Yep. I'm sure they'll name their kid Atlanta.
Oh, that's
hey, Sam did.
Who beat his fiance pregnant.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, nobody's perfect.
Wow, thanks a lot, man.
We're not.
All right,
I don't know what to go with that.
Moving
I
on.
don't condone that, by the way. That is not condoned on the AFC.
I don't condone it at all. Like,
you gotta make sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's because if not, then it's just like,
I have a
gotcha.
conversation
I don't really know where to go from there,
and we will be right back after these messages.
I'm just giving the insight. He was a highlight. Offensive line, I wish I could have seen a little bit better there. Logan Woodside got beat up quite a bit, but he still kind of hung in strong. I mean, still Tannehill, he's still the guy. There's no quarterback competition. I think it was just really for fighting for who's 2 and 3, and both just were serviceable, I guess. And same thing with the running. I mean, there's just not a lot of competition like for starting positions on offense. So it honestly, it's a little boring just because you're just looking at people who are just hoping to be second string. And with the way the offense is looking to run, they're not going to get a lot of playing time. Defense was more exciting. And again, I think it was nice to see guys really, really compete because I feel like a lot of them feel they have a legitimate shot at getting some real playing time this year.
Gotcha. So, okay. So I understand what you're talking about in terms of everybody kind of being locked in, but do you feel like the actual team, like, you know who the starters are, Tannehill, Henry, you got Julio on one side, AJ on the other. Does it kind of worry you to a certain extent that it seems as though other than the starters that there may kind of be a little bit of a drop off in terms of the talent or in terms of just like there kind of being a gap?
Sure. I know that but it is comforting to have two because a lot of teams don't have two like top tier receivers like we do. I mean, sure there's not much of a bridge in between, but I know a lot of people like to, talk about Reynolds not being that great, but he's a perfectly good bridge between what we have at 3 and 1. So I'm not super concerned about it. It's just really more of like, I'll get worried about it if one of them gets hurt probably, but I'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because Tannehill's just going to hand it off 25 times a game. So
Well, I hope not. I mean, that's probably the biggest concern is, I know I love Derrick Henry. He's awesome. He's a beast, but his workload is always something that you have to worry about, especially with where he's been. So let's hope
he's always taking huge loads. You're right.
All over Jacksonville.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All over Jacksonville. But yeah, so it's just we're just gonna have to see. It's just a wait and see. I really hope that Tannehill once again goes through his progressions better than he did last year, and he played better last year than he did the year before. So let's just hope he keeps trending upward. And again, I got nothing to go on because he didn't play.
Okay,
I don't hope that.
Well, I'm sure. Wait, you don't hope that?
I don't.
Wait, I thought you were on my side on this.
Yeah, I felt
What a
chime in. I
shocker.
felt like maybe the fans wanted to know whether or not I hope that happened.
Yeah.
And I do not. So
Okay.
there's no.
What about Harish? Where do you stand on this? Do you hope he gets better or worse?
I actually don't care.
I hope he gets better at losing.
Yeah.
But
I hope
then
he
again,
trends
it is-
down.
I hope he did. He took most of his losing. I hope was done in Miami, and I hope it's just nothing but great things from there.
But
Yeah.
then again,
He's never
it
going
is
to
a-
lose
it
another
is a
game.
It is a 17-game season, so I mean, you're looking at potentially having Derrick Henry having over 400 rushes.
I don't think so.
Derrick Henry will probably run the ball 450 times this year.
I mean, he had 378 last year.
It's just with the moves they made, I gotta think they're looking to lighten his carries.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because if they don't hand the ball, so this whole conversation about Tannehill.
All right, let's do it. Let's hear it. I love it.
So I don't have anything against Tannehill. Like, he plays for the Titans. I don't pay attention to him
Sure.
except for like twice a year. Who cares? But the Tannehill is bookended by having finally got some decent receivers, sure, and the fact that they load the box for Henry. So either you run it 25 times a game with Henry, and Tannehill gets paid off in the play action, where he's dropping 10 feet, he's dropping 10 steps back, and then taking 5 steps up into the pocket before he finds an open receiver. Or we go the Tannehill route, where now we're trying to rest Henry and we're getting him some wide receivers, and that's when we find out what kind of like a real actual quarterback he is. And like, I'm gonna call it right now and say that that's not going to go well. I think that, and if they do run Henry 25 times a game, that's not going to go well either. You won't have him for the last 3 or 4 games of the season. That's just like, he can't keep that up. He's getting old.
Well, and again, like what we have is like what he's done in Tennessee is like he's had Derrick Henry, and his success is largely linked to the success of Derrick Henry. But
Wait, you can't say that though, because Titans fans will tell you that he was
Stop.
good
Yes,
before
John.
that.
Stop.
Come
No,
on,
no.
John.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not telling you that, okay? The point is, but like in Miami, he didn't have Derrick Henry in 2016, and like he did suffer some injuries and whatnot, but he's had some years where he did show that he's capable of doing these things. And I think what we're going to have to see is like what his ability is to read the defense pre-snap, of whether or not, if they're going to load the box, he's got to be willing to read and know where to go, which side to go at. And that's what where we're going to be tested on him.
The other problem with not running Henry 25 times a game is that you give the opposing offense more time, and your defense is like maybe only a little bit better than the Jaguars defense, which is not saying anything at all. So
don't
What do
give
you
us that
mean?
much credit.
Todd, they got Bud Dupree.
Don't give us
and
that
Danique-
much. Don't even give us that much credit.
Well, they got
They
Bud
got-
Dupree.
they got Bud
Ships on
Dupree
ships.
and Danico Autry. What are you talking about? It's
All right,
the best
so-
defense in the league.
So then, being that
And
you guys have deemed those players the intriguing ones for them, John, who are the players that you saw that you think probably have potential? Maybe not on the offensive side, but maybe on the defensive side, because the defensive side is holy.
I like
Who
this. I like
do you
this
have
Julio
there that could
Jones
potentially
guy.
go ahead and start over there?
Defensive side, I think the hope is Rashaan Evans is just once again like a staple. From what I'm hearing, Breon Borders, they love what he's doing. They said he's like really stepped up in training camp. I haven't watched much tape, but they're really depending on the youth and really hoping that this team gels better together. And again, it just all we're going is and Caleb Farley, of course, our first round draft pick. But that's really what it is. We're just kind of going on a wing and a prayer and a hope. And what I'm hearing out of the coaches and the reporters is that they love what they're seeing. But again, I don't know. I haven't seen anything from these guys yet. They're not playing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, listen.
Did you just quote a 1980s sitcom
Yes.
theme song? Okay.
I'm walking on air.
Right.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. Is that Laverne and Shirley, I believe?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Vern and Shirley.
Vern and Shirley, you didn't say that.
So, yeah. So
I'm
with
fine
that
with
being said, I don't know if it's been 30 minutes. I'm not sure, but you know what? Sam said 30 minutes, so you know what? Whatever. That's
Let
fine.
Todd go for 10 minutes.
Yeah, listen. if I let Todd go anymore, then it's just like we won't be able to uphold.
I am coining the terminology because I have the best words. But Lawrence should be forever the Duval Dandy. Hashtag Duval Dandy. I'm coining it now. I'm going to keep calling him that until it catches on. And obviously, I know it won't really catch on until it ends up in New Era 2.0. It's a little dig for my own fans there. But yeah, that's the thing.
Who's the guy?
New Era
Dave
2.0.
Diplo, whatever his name is.
That person is a person. I don't call people out by their name or their first name. Because that's Bush League, and I'm a professional. So,
well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say the real name. I'll just say his name rhymes with Rave Kipto. So yeah, we'll do that.
Sure,
that's fine. We'll do that. But either way, once again, I think that's all for everybody. Todd, I'm gonna let you lead us out with where people can find you on Twitter or social media as a whole.
Asshole. What? Oh, as a whole. As a whole.
Yes.
Phrasing, my friend. I don't know. I guess I could go start a Twitter if I felt like it. If I felt like, wasting half my day arguing with idiots about stuff they don't know anything about. You can find me on Facebook by my name, because that's how that works.
Which one?
The one that you used, the right one, the correct one. And whatever, I guess if anybody cares to hear what I had to say, literally tell me that and I'll make some stupid Twitter and then 5 of y'all can follow me and then it'll get boring after a week and I'll delete it every time I've ever gone on Twitter. So there's that.
Fantastic. All right.
If you want to see me, head on over to AFC South Fan Battle Podcast, where I'll be on every other week talking about all news Jacksonville Jaguars of the Duval Dandy.
I will say, I'll give you this much. You sound like the old announcer off the Crazy Taxi video game.
That's good. I'm glad.
That brought back a little bit of nostalgia.
There you
Good
go.
stuff.
Yes. Matt, how about yourself?
I mean, it's preseason. Nothing to be excited about.
I'm talking about
They want to find you, Matt.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
The Houston Texans, ladies and gentlemen.
I already checked out the season.
Losing like always.
I don't know what you want, man.
At Savvy
Shitty out
Texan
here.
fan and Matthew Briggs on Facebook. So,
All right. John Ha, I don't know if social media has been outlawed in Utah yet, but where can they find you?
I don't think it is, but they'll again. I'm not on it. I'm not there.
He has a Twitter account. What do you mean?
I do have a Twitter account. Oh wait, that's right. Sam created a Twitter account for me, even though I don't run it. So if you want to reach me, Sam will reply back to you.
It's little Haas X _.
That's right. I forgot. I have a Twitter. It's not me though, so I'm sorry, Donnie Stingley. You're going to be yelling at Sam. You won't be yelling at me when you.
The
You just-
Twitter
you
bio
just torch his
says,
feelings.
I'm really confused because I love Jesus, but I also love Little Nas X and something about shirtless pics of Derrick Henry. It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
There you
that's
go.
pretty
You
self-explanatory.
mean Derek Hank?
I'm on Facebook, but I'm never even on Facebook. The only time I'm in our messenger group. That's the only time. So you can't even find me. And that's how I like it.
Agreed.
All right. Well, fantastic. And Harish, how
I
about
wouldn't want
yourself?
anybody to find me if I was a Tennessee fan in Utah either. So
I'm the only one that exists here anyway. So it doesn't matter.
All right, Harish, and yourself.
Myself, yeah, just the Uncle Gandhi on Twitter, GHANDI, and then Harish on the AFC South fan battle. That's me. That's it.
Nice. And on that note, I know Sam has listened to all of this, so I'm gonna lead us out with the yeah, that's it for tonight. You can catch us back here next Sunday for more preseason hot takes or cold takes, depending on how good or bad things have gone. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
a dab.
Maybe.